Millions of Americans fly domestically in the United States every day. For one family, their visit to their cabin in the Northland started off turbulent. That's because they allege their 13-year-old daughter flying alone for the first time as an unaccompanied minor was left unaccompanied at MSP Airport in the Twin Cities by one of the nation's top airlines. I sit down for an exclusive interview with the mother who is calling for accountability. The calm beauty of a Minnesota lake is like no other.
It's great to escape the hustle and bustle and come to the lake.
That's why Duluth native Stacy Bentley travels with her family to their cabin on Island Lake for 2 weeks every summer. But this year, she says the start of their vacation was turbulent. For the first time, they booked a flight for their 13-year-old daughter, Natalia, who flew separately to join them in Minnesota as an unaccompanied minor on a Delta flight. What the Bentleys expected is laid out on Delta's website. The service comes with a mandatory $150 fee when booking. Right on the front page of the Unaccompanied Minors program, Delta says, quote, "We take every step to make sure your child is safe, comfortable, and enjoying a positive travel experience." It also ensures a Delta personal escort for your child throughout their travel day. But according to Stacy, her young daughter's experience was far from that.
Delta's motto is safety first, and we entrusted them with our child, which is our most important cargo, and they very much let us down.
Stacy says when their daughter got off the plane at MSP, she was not greeted by a Delta agent. Instead, she was left alone in the busy airport for about an hour.
So we're feeling panicked.
Yeah.
I then start to try to contact Delta, and I get absolutely no one.
For hours, she says her calls went to voicemail. Luckily, her daughter had a cell phone, and she told her to find an agent at the gate.
At first, I thought it was a hiccup, it was a mistake. That's why I immediately asked to speak with an agent. And they very clearly articulated that they were understaffed, and that was not a priority to get her safely to my husband.
Stacy says the agent told her the only way they would get their daughter was if her husband got in the TSA line to pick her up at the gate. Her husband says he waited more than an hour going through security to finally get to his daughter.
I was angry, I was frustrated, but most of all, my heart broke for my child, who was at this point in tears, saying, "You promised this wouldn't happen." There's security to get into an airport. There's not security to get out. And anybody could have taken her and walked right out those doors, and nobody would have checked, and nobody would have known.
According to the U.S. Department of Transportation, about 7 million children fly as unaccompanied minors on commercial airlines every year. As longtime loyal Delta customers, Stacy says she's disappointed. We reached out to Delta about these allegations. The airline declined an on-camera interview, but issued this statement saying, quote, "Delta has thoroughly investigated the customer's claims and confirmed the booking was made by a fraudulent actor." Delta says their records show the ticket came from a third party, and what was promised to the Bentleys was not from a Delta agent. Saying, quote, "We have advised the customer to dispute the charge with her credit card provider. We understand her confusion and sympathize with the situation."
And certainly I have the documentation.
Stacy disputes Delta's claim. She says they booked the unaccompanied minor ticket a month in advance on June 11th using the guided form on Delta's website.
Travel scams, vacation scams continue to be in the top 10 of the riskiest scams available to us that are targeting us.
The Better Business Bureau says over the past decade, scammers are cashing in on travel scams because there's such a prevalence in traveling, and there are so many ways to book flights now.
Scammers, they understand that creating a fake website or creating a fake customer service number can easily dupe us. What we get in return is flights that never exist in the first place, or flights and airfare that are not what we expect in the end.
As a mom, is that acceptable?
Absolutely not. I mean, we are simply looking for a conversation of how we can take our experience and the trauma that happened to our child and ensure that doesn't happen to other families.
Hoping for more oversight and accountability from the airlines, so families can focus on simply making memories in the summer on the lake. Now, the family says they have requested security footage of their daughter at the Delta gate and the phone conversation with their booking agent They tell me Delta has denied their request. We also reached out for that footage and have not heard back. As for how to protect yourself from a potential scam, we have more tips from the Better Business Bureau. Download our Northern News Now app for that.